All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. And salutations to the Yakim out there laboring with the hopeful elect that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. And time and time again, the apostles always say, pretty much, man, to leave that nigga woman alone. You know, this woman, they're built up in their pride these days. In these last days, they got free range to do all of the wickedness that their hearts desire. You see, and there's no repercussion for it. You see, all right. Our adversary pretty much has given this woman the free range to pretty much do her own will. And pretty much putting this society in a situation to where the women are pretty much the head of the household. We know that goes back, to like the 60s and 70s, where, women were pretty much getting benefits and pretty much had to have no man living in the household. And a lot of men were pushed to the side for, Uncle Sam's goodies, so to speak, And here it is, fast forward, the Jake man, let's just really just focus on Judah, so to speak, because they pretty much come out the head tribe, because they pretty much think that you cut the giant off at the head, everybody else is gonna fall into place. So, Judah is pretty much the most exploited, man on the planet Earth. Here it is on TV. This man is feminized, to get these big roles in these to be a movie star, you pretty much have to, put on a woman's garment, which is totally against the scriptures, and it just goes to show you how, what men will pretty much, pretty much the integrity is compromised, And the same thing when you're going about your everyday life, when you're talking about a regular Jake, dealing with these women, And this is a clear example right here of this woman here, how she, is not going to submit to just any man, And we have to understand that the only thing that a woman understands, okay, is power, okay? And Jake does not possess that. So you got a lot of Jakes out here that are pretty much simping for these women, man. You see, the age of the internet where they're giving these women attention and pretty much what you want to say, a soapbox to pretty much stand on, to spew their heart, so to speak, their mind, And these women, this Western women is pretty much corrupted, It pretty much, it's not even just the Judite woman, it's just the Western women in general, okay? The philosophies that she has taken on has corrupted her, man. You see? Now, you got Jake out there that's pretty much doing a lot of simping, and the only thing that you can do for yourself, and at the end of the day, you have to be called to pretty much just do the work of the Lord, because that's what's gonna get you the benefit of what was promised to us. You see, okay, that's the benefit of doing the work. Is pretty much the Lord promising a kingdom to us, okay, and everything pretty much going back into His rightful order. You see. But this ain't the time now to even try to indulge in these Western women, man. Okay? They pretty much are not for any use to think of anything to be long term, man. And that's the problem with Jake. Jake is too much thinking with the wrong parts of their body, and not being in tune with the spirit. You see? But let's play this clip a little bit, though. We're going to talk about this on the other side. So without any further ado,
You had enough jurisdiction. You're not that important. Do you know who you gotta be for me to do what you say? You ain't him like that. You can't tell me what to do because you ain't nobody. I don't let nobody ass niggas give me orders. But if you really him like that, I'll do what you say. I'll do whatever you say. But you just ain't nobody. To me. You somebody to your mom or probably to your children. You probably got friends and stuff that really give a fuck about you, but I don't. Not like that. Not like that to a degree that I'll be doing what you say. So no. Nope. One of my favorite hobbies. Reminding whole ass niggas that they ain't nobody. So that they can have enough inspiration to go really work on themselves and become somebody worth being. Because a lot of them don't be nobody worth being. And sometimes they just need a motherfucker to remind them, hey.
And you know, you got Jake out here, man, that's pretty much in the lowest state, man. And you pretty much are chasing behind these Western women, man. You see? You know, we have to understand when you come into the knowledge of the Most High, you have to understand that this is not our turn. This is not our rest. You know, this place is surely polluted, man. You know, it's polluted. This woman's minds are polluted, man. Okay? This woman in no way or fashion is going to bow down to any Jake on the planet, man. Okay? She is solely set in her ways, man. And the reason is that because this woman understands power. Now, mind you, if E was to go ahead and pretty much, you know, come into her world, okay, she'll submit to him, you know. And I also witnessed that, you know, in my comings and goings, man, you know, here in Babylon, man, where you may see, you know, a Judite woman with Esau, and pretty much you see her, she's very submissive, okay. The woman knows how to turn it on and off like a switch. And it all depends on who that particular person is for her to pretty much submit. Okay? So this is why the Lord is pretty much systematically breaking down this society. Okay? Because women like her, all right, are gonna get back in order. they're gonna realize the rightful order that the Lord has set up. Okay? All right? Troubles and terror. Okay? All right, it's gonna scare her straight, pretty much, okay, into doing what she is set out to do. Okay, is to be a servant to her man. You know, now women like this may not even make it through this whole thing of Jacob's trouble. You know, okay, she may very well be destroyed, man. Okay. And the Lord has all pretty much all free range to do so, man. Okay? He will be totally justified the way that these Western women operate, you know? But just like Paul said, you know, hey, you know, and this is really for the elect anyway, but Paul said, man, you know, those that have wives, be like you don't have one, you know? Because the ministry is supposed to be first and foremost before anything else. Okay, because why? It's because we're fighting for salvation. You see? All other things will fall into place. But we need to get ourselves back in order, man. And the Lord is calling for his sons to come back into order. You see? Okay, but we fell from grace. Thanks to the likes of this woman like her. Okay? All right? Her being the beginning of a sin. And through her, we all die. You see? Okay? You know, we have to understand the precarious situation that we're in and what we need to do to get back, you know, okay? But the scriptures pretty much get into our downfall, man, okay? We have basically, you know, left pretty much our power, okay? We disobeyed him. Okay, we did everything contrary to what the Lord has set out for us to be that great nation. You see? All right? Let me start with the scripture real quick. Let's go to let me go to Lamentations real quick. Lamentation chapter 1 verse 3. Judah, really speaking, addressing the head tribe right now is because, we're the most exploited, and everything is pretty much on Front Street for the most part. Pretty much it says Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen, she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. Okay, and the Lord has always gave us the judgment of going into captivity, man. Okay, that was always the judgment of the Lord for us, pretty much straying away from him. And pretty much, this was a different time and era, but at the end of the day, this is a reoccurring event that has happened to us. Okay, and the big doozy was the transatlantic slave trade. You see, okay, where we pretty much lost our way altogether. Okay, we lost ourselves as a nation. We lost ourselves as a language, as a people. Okay, the tribes are pretty much they were already divided back in, but divided. You see, okay, and now it's a coming together, and the Lord is calling the men to come back, man. You see, okay, and this is what we need to be focusing on. We need to be focusing on this truth, okay, men of the elect, and not get caught up in things like that, and that woman, she wasn't even all that, man. She had very, very strong features, man. She had like a very chiseled face, more. It wasn't a very warm and feminine look, okay, and it's crazy how Jake has been so warped into this Western society. We have been willing to settle for women that are less feminine than what they ought to be, man. You see, a majority of these women are very hard and rough around the edges for the most part, man. You see, okay, it says, the ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. And pretty much this is the state that we're in now, man. We don't have no type of leadership. Okay, if you want to call, the people that's on TV, okay, that they put in front of your TV to be your followers, man. It's coming to be, man, that hey, man, these people that are in front of the TV are not what they are what people are cracking them up to be, man. Okay, or what they're being puffed up to be. You see, okay, these people are pretty much are compromised, defeated men that you're seeing in front of the screen, man. Okay, men that pretty much have compromised their manhood and dignity, man, just to get in front of a TV a camera. You see, okay. You see, but we don't celebrate, okay, our feast days. Okay, we have been further immersed into a place, and been conquered by a people whose language that we did not know. Okay, everything that we follow is a Western way of customs and pagan holidays, man. You see, okay, but we are afflicted, man. We're in bitterness. It says, verse 5, her adversaries are the chief. Her enemies prosper. And this is what the Lord has done. The Lord has put us on the bottom and put everybody else on top, and we become their proverb and byword. You see? Okay? This is why we are in the bottom in every society that you look at, man. Okay? It's because of the Lord. You see? It says, her adversaries are chief. Her enemies prosper. For Yahweh have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions. Speaking about the children of Israel. Okay? For the multitude of our transgressions, man, the Lord has put the heathen over us. You see? And we have no power. Okay? Okay? Now you want to look at the state of a people, look at its women. You know? And the women are pretty much being exploited. You see? Especially that Judite woman. Okay? Being exploited on TV. You know? Okay? And it shows you the downtrodden estate of the people, man. Okay? It says, her children are gone into captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion, all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts that find no pasture, and they are all gone without strength before the pursuer. You know? And the Lord said that we're going to have no might in our hand. You know, pursuant to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, you know, when you read verse 15 on down, pretty much going into the curses that are bestowed upon us, man. Okay? And therefore, it's supposed to be for a sign, okay, and a wonder. You see? And that still rings true today. You know? The curses are heavily upon our people, man. You know? All the tribes. You see? All right? From there, let's go to Isaiah. Uh, 63, verse 17. O Yahweh, why hast thou made us err from thy ways, and hardened our heart from thy fear? Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thine inheritance. You know, and from, you know, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you know, pretty much that chosen line, you know, okay, all right, and then you fast forward to pretty much, you know, the prophets, okay, you see, the men that pretty much sigh and cry, you know, hey, return to us for thy servant's sake the tribes of thy inheritance, okay. It says, the people of thy holiness have possessed it, but for a little while. Our adversaries had trodden down thy sanctuary, you know, and pretty much, you know, the last and final time of our sanctuary being trodden down was in 70 AD, okay, and they pretty much commemorate that with the Arcatitus in Italy, okay. It shows how the Romans entered into the sanctuary and took our goodly vessels from the temple, okay. But we only possess, you know, the kingdom just for a little while, man. You know, pretty much only 40 years. You see, okay. And we only vested for a little while. We don't have a portion in this life. You see, it says, we are thine. All right. Thou never bearest rule over them. They are not called by thy name. You know, and it really speaks, chiefly speaking, okay, to you tribes, man, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans chiefly, you know, and although we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, you know, our people may be living amongst the heathen that look like the heathen, you see, all right, but go back to the stock of Jacob, you see, all right, our adversaries, the heathen, the other nations, okay, they bears rule over us though, and they are not called by thy name. You see? Okay? The Lord has a chosen people. Point blank period. Okay? Right? From there, let's take in Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 51. Okay, verse 17. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunken at the hand of Yahweh's cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling and wrung them out. And we pretty much drunk of that cup, man. You know, the cup of trembling, you know, and the Lord pretty much, and this is of the Lord's fury. Okay? You see? All right? But now is a reckoning, you know, to wait awake. You see? You know, understand the times that we're in. You know, we're pretty much in the worst case scenario as a nation right now. Okay, you see, and it's time for us to pretty much get it together, so to speak. You know, okay, and not get caught up in this folly, because this is where the folly has gotten us. The folly has gotten us into women like this, okay, in her pride. You see, and she's not even all that at the end of the day. But we have been pretty much reduced to accepting what westernized beauty is, so to speak. Okay? You see? But you do have a lot of lame, weak, two-third Jake out there, you know? And that's chiefly who she's speaking of. You see? You know, that's why, you know, this truth, man, teaches you to be a man of integrity, man. You carry yourself a certain type of way, okay? And don't get caught up in this type of madness, or be on the other end of that worldly rebuke, okay? That she's pretty much spewing out of her mouth, man. Okay? You see? These women only understand power. Okay? You see? Hey, you see it in the workplace, man. Okay? You see women, a lot of these women that get on the job, you have this certain particular woman, one woman I know, okay, at the job, all right? She only likes to deal with men of power that got some type of status at the job as far as position, you know? Some type of supervisor position, you know. It already shows you what kind of woman she is, though, because she ran through maybe about 3 individuals in the years that I have known her. You see, you know, but she has the same old pattern. Okay, and pretty much, hey, what the person looks like doesn't even matter to her. Okay, even if it's a person of another nation, okay, she's cool with that. Because why? It's because that person's in power. You know, it changes the whole dynamic of how a woman carries herself with that man. You see? Right? It says, there is none to guide her among all the sons whom she had brought forth. You know? And, you know, and I just like to say that these women, they pretty much are quick to say, you know, you men ain't shit. But guess who's raising these men? Because you women been hollering that for the past 50 years. But wait, the last 50 years, you women have been the sole head of the household, man. So who's really grooming these men? Okay, all right. It's really these women. Okay, so you pretty much do not need to be at the wheel of anything, man. Okay? Because if this is the finishing product of what she's speaking of, what you women being at the head of the household, man, you know, the Lord can't come any sooner, man. You know? Right? It says, there is none to guide her among all the sons whom she had brought forth. Neither is there any that take her by the hand. All the sons that she had brought up, you see, and we had no real guidance, man. Okay, you know, we're pretty much our fatherless children. Okay, through the Spirit. Okay, we don't have that strong family unit, man, because that is all destroyed by our adversary. Our adversary had a big hand in that. You know, okay, and there's no such thing as free will. Okay. You see, the Lord pretty much guided it that way, because the Lord said, man, behold, I make a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And how is that able to be possible when, if the enemy didn't pretty much systematically break up the household unit? Okay? That's the only way that would be able to happen. Okay? All right? But the Lord spoke about these things. Okay? It says, verse 19, these 2 things come unto thee, and who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction, and famine, and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? You know? And pretty much, man, you know, and we always went out taking the L, okay, when the Lord put his fury upon us. You see? Okay, and no different this time around now. Okay? All right, who's there to check for Jake? Who's there to bemoan Jake? Who's going to comfort us? Okay? These nations and our women, the women of our own nation, are pretty much having a great old time kicking us while we're down. You see? Okay? Verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy power. You know, and this is pretty much sums it up for Jake right now. You know, Jake is pretty much out there. When you just look around, when you go around the areas where Jake would dwell, you know, Jake is just walking, and you see it through the spirit, man. They're walking aimlessly, wherever the wind blows. They have no sense of purpose, of set forth direction. You know, okay. They don't have a hard concord. They don't have a hard sense of what exactly they're doing at that very moment, man. Okay, there's no set forth determination, man, to do anything productive, man. Okay, they lie at the head of all the streets, man, as a wild bull, and Jacob is a wild bull that's caught up in the net. You see, but that's pretty much what the Lord said is the full fury of the Lord, man. Okay, you know, pretty much spewing just venom, man. You know, okay. You know, here it is. You know, and comes into play with those bywords in that Proverbs. You know, and you can even put a movie and do a stereotypical depiction of Jake, and pretty much, for the most part, is on point. You see, okay, we are so downtrodden and so predictable, we easily fall into those stigmas that have been put upon us, man. Okay, it's easy to for people to pretty much pigeonhole us into those stigmas, man. Okay, because pretty much everybody, Jake seems like for the most part, you know, and chiefly talking about you 2/3, you all operate in the same fashion. Okay, you see, you know, they know if this thing happens, this is gonna happen. You know, you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're emotional. Okay, all right, super simps. Okay, you see, and really, you at the end of the day, you people are hateful men. Okay, but you give the other nations a pass, and they'll be the grimiest, hardest dude you know is like that. You know, okay, he ready to put you to death, but he have somehow some way through that iron dome of his, okay, and that iron heart, you know, he got a sore spot for the other nations, and they can get a pass on certain things that Jake on a smallest little minute thing, but pretty much get put to death, man. Those are curses, man. Those are heavily laden curses, man. You see, it says, verse 21, therefore hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. You know, and you people are pretty much drunken, but not with wine. You're drunken with the philosophies of this world, and you're thinking that it's working for you, man. Okay, when you pretty much are entering into the valley of the shadow of death, man, and don't understand your ultimate purpose of being put on this earth. You see, this is where Jake misses the mark. Okay, you see, verse 22. For thus say the Lord, Lord, Yahweh, and thy power, what pleadeth the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. You know, and we pretty much waking up to this truth, you know, for the past couple of decades, and pretty much the Lord has taken away the cup of trembling, okay? Because we're speaking boldly in the spirit, man, without fear. Okay, you know, this is something that would never be done on this type of level, man, in times past. You see, okay, But the Lord said, man, He's taking the cup of torment from out of our hand. Okay? You see? And we're not going to drink it down no more again. You see? He says, but, verse 23, but I will put it in the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over. You know? Okay? And the nations pretty much had our way with us, man. Okay? This is why they're prospering in this world. Okay? Off the backs, okay, of you Jakes. You see? Okay? But the Lord said He's going to put it into their hand. Okay? The ones that afflict us. Okay? So pretty much a role reversal is pretty much coming to us, man. Okay? And this is something little that she knows. Okay? Because Isaiah 4:1 is going to be full in effect. Okay? You see? You know, women going to understand before their eyes, you know, the transfer of power, so to speak, man. Okay? You see? You know, and I always bring up that scene in Scarface. Okay? With the scene with Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay? Which played the mistress of Frank. Or the wife of Frank. You know, the drug dealer that got murdered. Okay, and then you have enter in Al Pacino. Okay, which is played by Scarface, played by Al Pacino. He pretty much, after he murdered Frank, he came into the residence of Frank, where Michelle Pfeiffer, I forget her character name, but she was pretty much asleep in the bedroom, and he came into the bedroom and pretty much, you know, touched her and to pretty much wake her up and said, come on, you're coming with me. And she woke up and looked at him and seen him, you know, with his arm in a cast and bruised up and kind of, you know, dirty a little bit. And she was like, what happened? And he told her pretty much, you know what happened, you know, okay? And what was she going to do at that point? She's going to say, no, I'm not going to go with you, okay? You see? All right? Her pretty much her man that she pretty much have been with, okay? That man of power was brought to naught. You know, he was pretty much deleted. You see? So she had no choice but to go with the man that had the power now. Okay? You see? And he pretty much got the woman that he wanted. You see? All right? So that time is pretty much going to come. And that's how women operate. The woman's going to go with the man with the power, man. Okay? You see? But, you know, like I said, the Lord's going to play role reversal. You know? Okay? Because, man, this place, man, the demise of this place cannot come any sooner, man. You know? It's getting weirder and weirder out here, man. You know? This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. Okay? And pretty much the remnant is going to be delivered from that, man. Okay? It says, for lo, I will command, and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve. Yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Okay? And this is how Jake pretty much thinks, the 2/3. Okay? All right? That women included, you know, they just think that you know, it has been no recompense on their evil ways. So they're fully set to do evil. You see? Okay? You know, they're still, you know, pretty much in that kick the can down the road spirit, man. Okay? You see? But it says, verse 11, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, which is fallen, and closed up the breaches thereof. And pretty much, man, it's talking about the northern and southern kingdom. You know, that's pretty much the tabernacle of David. Okay? The Lord's going to raise it up, man. Okay? And I will raise up its ruins, his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Okay? So we're going back to our naturally entitled estate, so to speak. You see? Okay? And it says that they may possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen which are called by my name, saith Yahweh, that does this. Okay? So pretty much the power is going to be shifted into our hands, man. You see? This is ultimately here an example of a transfer of power. You see? It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. You know? Okay, and pretty much, man, all these governments are coming down, man. Okay? All right? And it's going to be orchestrated, okay, by the man of war. Okay? So now when you hear the war drums beating, okay, we know it's for the purpose, the Lord's purpose, man. Okay? Because we have no power. Okay? Earthly power. You see? Okay? Okay, we got the Lord and the angels pretty much fighting our battles until the Lord pretty much bestows that power unto us. You see? Right? It says, and I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. They shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof, and they shall make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And we never have done that. Okay? You know, every time we have done these things, you know, plant vineyards, you know, and pretty much build cities, it was for pretty much for the other nations, man. Okay? You know, that was part of the curses. Okay? You know, basically us reaping and people benefiting. Okay? You see? And it says, verse 15, and I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Yahweh thy power. You see? Okay? So that promise is coming, you know? And we just have to bear, you know, this pride, this spewing this prideful, you know, women like this, you know, they're gonna be humbled in that time in the near future, man. Okay? You see? You know, their little kingdom is also they're benefiting from is coming down, you know, and they don't even see it. Okay? You know, these people are these women are pretty much are oblivious to what's going on around them. Okay? All they worry about is this social media, man. Okay? But that's about to be a thing of the past. Okay? You see? All right, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rokakwadash, Shalom.